Hi guys, thanks for joining me here on the book break. Today I get to talk to the author Shawna McGuire. I'm super excited. She has a new book that just came out, the fourth in a series, In an Absent Dream. And she is such a fun author. I love getting... Hey! Shawna!
How have you been?
Hello. Good. Let's go chat. Okay. Today I'm here with author Seanan McGuire.
Hi.
And I'm so excited to talk to her about her books. So she has a new one that just came out, the fourth in a series. It is called In an Absent Dream. So Shawna, tell me more about this series. What do you do in this book?
So these are the Wayward Children books. Do you remember Portal Fantasies from when you were a kid? Alice in Wonderland, The Wizard of Oz, Narnia, all these stories where kids go through magical doors and wind up in strange new places. Well, these books follow their adventures after they come back through the door and they wind up back in Kansas or back on that sleepy riverbank and have to try to explain to the adults in their lives where they went and what happened to them while they were there.
Right.
So just imagine being 14, you've already saved the world, and now people want you to do the dishes and your homework and don't believe you about any of your experiences.
Right, they think you are a runaway kid or something.
Exactly. So this is the fourth in the series. It actually follows a character from earlier in the series, Lundy, as she goes through her own door and has the portal fantasy adventure that she had before we first met her in book one, Every Heart a Doorway. So these come out every January from Tor.com Publishing, and I love them. They make me so happy.
Yeah, that's great. So you have another name that you write under,
Yes,
right?
Mira Grant.
Mira Grant. Now, what does Mira Grant write about?
Mira Grant writes biomedical science fiction thrillers in kind of the same space as Michael Crichton. So, you know, Jurassic Park, The Andromeda Strain. I do very similar work to that. They're heavily researched. I spend years talking to scientists before I actually start in on something. And there I've done the political landscape of the post-zombie apocalypse, genetically engineered tapeworms.
The political after the zombies?
Yes, we won.
All right.
I know, good for us. We actually used social media to win. So I feel very prescient now because this series came out several years ago and I'm like, look, I predicted everything, oh dear.
Oh no. So now is Mira Grant very big on social media?
Mira Grant doesn't exist, so she's not so good at social media.
But are you on social media?
I am on social media. I'm mostly on Twitter because Twitter really was the interface that gave me the easiest time uploading cat pictures from all possible places. And my social media really is a way for me to look at pictures of my own cats when I'm on the road because I miss them.
Oh, okay, awesome. Okay, so I have to say, you have this incredible necklace. I've got to, tell me what this is. This is so unique.
So this is actually made by an independent artist in Ukraine. She's on Etsy as Tishaya, and she calls these pendants, so P-E-N-dance rather than pendants. The first wave of them was inspired by this old quote about writing, which is that being an author is easy. All you have to do is open a vein and bleed onto the page.
Oh my gosh.
So they all had red stones, and now she's moved into things like tears and sweat. So this is one of her teardrops.
So have you cried tears writing your books?
Oh, I have. When I wrote the first Mira Grant book, I actually had to put it down for a couple of months because I cried too hard whenever I tried to open it. And that's good.
Did some sad
a bad thing happened.
Okay.
A very, very bad thing happened.
No.
But yeah, no, I love her work. I own way too many of these, and they're all handmade with polymer clay. She's just an incredible artist.
That's awesome. So I have to say, because you said now you really feel the emotion behind your books. Mm-hmm. Do you feel that emotion and then write about it, or do you write about it and feel it as you write it?
It depends on the situation. I really believe that you should do as much research as you can, especially when you're writing something that's based on real science, or if you're writing about a place, I try to go to the place first and really not understand it the way a native would, but at least understand it enough that I can say this is the feeling of standing in this city. And those emotions I bring to the text. But other times, if it's just I'm going to hit a character with a bus, obviously the emotion isn't there till I've hit the character, and then I feel the emotion. I'm very sad.
And then you feel really bad.
I do. I feel bad. I feel so bad about the bus.
Okay, so you probably haven't been a writer your entire life. How did you get into writing? Do you have a day job outside of writing?
I do not have a day job anymore. I'm very, very fortunate in that. I retired from customer service work in 2014.
Oh, nice.
Prior to that, I was a customer service quality engineer, a telephone technician, a reptile rescue organization worker, a phone sex operator, and an academic undersecretary.
That's fantastic. Now, did you use any of that real life experience in your books?
I don't think you can avoid using real life experience in your books.
Pretty interesting experiences.
A lot of it's learning how to talk to people, and I think the better you are at talking to people, the better you'll be at explaining to people what you want them to see when they look at your words.
Yeah. So, of all the jobs that you had outside of writing, what was your favorite?
Probably, honestly, the phone sex line.
Yeah.
I know that's, but it was so much fun, and people were so nice.
Well, and I bet you come up with some interesting characters that way.
You know, I try not to write about my clients because I'm always afraid one of them will recognize themselves, and then I have an uncomfortable conversation.
Right. Well, and you know, it's interesting because people often take those that they've met in real life and put them into their books, but have you ever written about somebody and then met someone in real life that reminded you of your character?
My publicist, I'm actually pretty sure I made her up. She has the same name as one of my characters. She looks like the character. She thinks I'm the best thing since sliced bread, but also her cubicle is full of these little toys and stuff of characters I love. So she put Sailor Venus from Sailor Moon, who is my favorite senshi, on a stack of my books and said, oh, this just felt right to me. And I'm like, do you exist when I'm not thinking about you? Because if you don't, we might have a problem.
Oh, that's great. Okay, so what is your favorite book? Of all the books you've written, what's your favorite one?
Honestly, and I know this sounds trite, but it's whichever one I just finished, because I have to fall in love if I want the text to actually come true to me. I've got a huge soft spot in my heart for Rosemary and Rue, which was the first Seanan McGuire book, and for Feed, which was the first Mira Grant book, because those are kind of the foundations on which I built everything. But most of the time, my favorite is the one where I'm like, I just wrote a book, I just wrote a book.
So what's next for you? Do you have a couple books coming up?
I do. So Shawna has That Ain't Witchcraft coming out on March 5th, which is the 9th book in my encrypted series.
Okay.
The first of that is Discount Armageddon. And then Mira, and I'm actually super excited about this, Mira has the first ever young adult alien novel coming out in April. So it's the Alien franchise with Sigourney Weaver. It's called Alien Echo. And I had so much fun. I've loved those movies since I was a kid. And I really think that your teen years, that's the golden age of horror. You know, I say YA alien book and people are like, oh, do they sparkle? I'm like, no, you can be just as gory and graphic in YA as you can in adult. You just can't have as much sex, and I don't like writing sex anyway, so it was perfect for me.
Yeah, that's great.
And I'm just so happy about it.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for being here with me, Shawna.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Can they go to your website, SeananMcGuire.com?
They sure can, and if they want to see pictures of my cats, they can go to Seanan McGuire on Twitter.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And thank you for coming back with us here on The Book Break. We are coming to the end of our season 1, and thanks to you, The Book Break has been a huge success. So at the end of our season 1, on September 7th, we will be broadcasting live from Salt Lake City Fan X Comic Convention. Make sure to join us. I'll be interviewing a surprise New York Times bestselling author. Thanks again, and I hope to see you then. Hi, I'm Single Payer Healthcare, and this is Big Pharma in the US. For far too long, Big Pharma has been overcharging Americans for necessary prescriptions, like insulin and inhalers
Whoa, little lady. That's not true. We save lives.
and charge more for medications than any other country.
What? But honey, they let us, so it's okay. But don't worry. We have all this under control.
Well, Pharma, Single Payer Healthcare can stop the overcharging, and if you go pick up...
When do I get to talk?
I think you said enough already. To learn more about how to heal the harm in American healthcare, go pick up The Purple World by Dr. Joseph Q. Jarvis.
Who reads? Does it come in audiobook? This is a book commercial? I have a Maserati. I don't read. Yeah, Robin Thicke. Yeah, I'll be your body double. Yeah, that's fine. No, I've already got the suit. It's cool.